I hope I have the right one. It's actually Birdie's team versus KC Goku. We're starting off strong. Ose will rise. We're starting it with the people who make Ose what it is. Not only the players, but it's also the streamers and content creators out there trying to lighten up your evenings. Now, Weapon, let's look into this. We haven't got bans yet, but I feel like... Did we get penalties?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering, because it looks like we skipped a couple of bans, and there's a Poppy ban, so Smidge, Poppy One Trick,
gone.
Relatively well-known player on the server, not going to be able to get the chance to play that.
No.
Also, are we like, is this lane order? Because I don't know where these players play. Okay, so I assume Smidge is going top.
No, actually. Smidge
Jungle?
is not going top. Smidge is actually going as your support.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah, there we go. So it's a single ban penalty, and I'm guessing like a lot of these have to be just targeted, right? They just, I don't know. Like at this level, you just take away someone's one trick, take away their comfort, and then you've kicked a leg out from under the chair and you watch it fall over.
That's true. That's true. And yes, guys, we will take that into consideration. We were a little bit rushed in regards to this, waiting on players, waiting on events. So we didn't have champion order, but we will try to do that for the next one. I think right now we just want to get these games going, make some content for you, because I will fix it all up when we get out of intermission and all that sort of stuff too. So just sit pretty. But okay, we got 3 good bans on the side of red. On the side of Goku. So we've got Poppy, Malphite, Diana. Very team fight orientated. But Silas, J4, what are your thoughts on those two?
We're just banning team fight champions on both sides, which I think just makes sense. It's like at the level where if you don't know the players you're playing with and you just kind of want to make League of Legends work as a game, you group 5 and you unga bunga run at each other. And I like the set pick in that regard, whether it goes in support or top. It just kind of does that. You can also flex it to mid, but I expect we'll probably see it in either of those roles, and we'll have to see where it ends up in the rest of the draft.
Yeah.
It does present a huge obstacle, though, because when you think about Set, he was picked classically into things like the Amumu, these like hard engaged junglers, and having that one on the side of the blue team actually does kind of stifle a lot of that aggression, especially with like the Jacks coming in. Like that flanking gets dunked away, that shuts down a huge flanker.
Yeah, no, I love the Jacks, actually. You got the split push option there as well, so you do have a lot, but you also have AP Jacks, which we did tell these players, guys, at the start of this. We wanted shenanigans. We wanted a bit of laugh.
Yes.
We didn't want them to take it too hectic or too seriously, so I'm kind of curious to see if they do decide to go for that, as I am just quickly moving these. I apologize, everyone. I'm moving these guys behind us. They're off to the side.
Very cool.
I'm trying to get some messages from people.
Oh, okay. Caitlyn locked in. I like that into the Jinx. Outrangers, bullies. Could be an anti support. I will throw it out there. So the all-in with the 90 caliber net and the traps could be pretty brutal if you're just willing to flash on top of the Jinx. I expect we're probably going to see it in mid lane, especially if we've got a bit of a mix of lower and higher ranked players. Maybe our mid laner is a bit lower ranked. And he's just easy, right?
Yep.
You just play it. You just press R. You press Q. You stun people. It works.
You can play so many different options. There's Predator. You can play Electrocute. You can go Dark Harvest if you feel like blowing people up late game. There is a lot you can do with it.
Yeah, exactly. And you can also do things like buy like Leandries and just play a much slower game. Just poke people out. We've seen that a few times. And I love Leandries. I'm a big Leandries enjoyer. I will play Leandries LeBlanc, and I will have a great time doing it.
I thought you played Irelia.
I've mostly been playing LeBlanc and Akali lately, and Aurelia whenever I can get my hands on it, but it's a harder one to pick up, I think.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, AD mid laner doesn't... You can counter pick it, you can't blind pick it.
That's so true, actually. I've been trying to have to play a bloody Syndra more. I've been loving Syndra, but I haven't been able to play it in ranked.
Busted.
Oh, Syndra Orianna, strongest mid laners in the game right now. 100%. But I want to talk about these other picks too, because we've got the Jinx there. Jinx is technically S tier along with Ziggs. So I wouldn't be surprised. Like, it'd be kind of good to get a Ziggs on this side as well, even at support Ziggs. Just being able to melt towers. Jinx as well, but really strong. Katarina, definitely a pocket pick there. But what do you expect? We got the Tahm Kench, we got a Lux Ban, and then we got an Amumu Hekrams. They're looking at that jungle. Anything you'd like to see, because Weapon, these drafts are crazy. We have no idea what's going on. We don't know these players. We don't know where we are. So we've got a Rammus.
I'm so lost and confused. Okay, so I love Warwick. I love me some Warwick. I expect that's going to be the jungle. I was going to say that like you've taken a lot of jungle picks away from yourself on the blue side, so I was kind of thinking that might be a set jungle for some reason, but we've ended up with Warwick. Kind of love this. What I will say is until the Leona came down, I wasn't seeing a lot of just easy point and click access to CC that would shut down the Katarina. So there's a very good chance, and we can't see the nameplates on the red side. This Katarina, if she has a great lane, there's literally just the Leona to shut her down, and that's you have to be in range to hit that Q.
Oh,
so this could be a game where we see a Katarina just get pentakills.
We could see a lot more, because just think about the interactions you get with Jinx Milio, who is your final pick. The Milio range extension too is going to be so big for Jinx being able to sit back, just absolutely blast these people, because they are a very hectic front line. You could expect a rapid fire cannon. Man, it's been so long since casting, I've forgotten everything. A rapid fire cannon would be so good, because you could sit back from literally half a map away and just be powering through this front line, shredding them. And then you've got a Rammus on top with a Jax too. They have the engage. Katarina can jump in, do the death, and just spin all those daggers. Dude, these are some pretty spicy lanes, but I want to... Wait. No, it's not in pick order. I apologize. I'm about to say, is Leona mid? I was like, that sounds dope.
Yeah, it's... Because Switch is playing support. We know this. So I still go back to the point that it's not... unless the Annie has stun prep, which is a very telegraph thing, there are windows you can play around. Set has to be in ranged users. His E, same with Warwick, and that's got a bit of a wind up. So, I do think that Katarina could go completely ballistic. And on the other side, like on the red side, yes, there's a Rammus, and he just runs at you and presses E and taunts you up. But that's single target. It's a little telegraphed, and if you've got a set who's willing to throw him back in and then have the rest of the team follow up, I'm just seeing a lot more cohesion on the blue side in terms of when they put the team fight together and everyone presses their buttons, which is what you have to consider at this level of play.
Yeah, nah, for sure. And it's because we have got, like you mentioned before, it's a very strong array of champions. We got master tier players mixed with some iron players too. Like, we've got a point system, and I'll probably touch on the point system a little bit for everyone here that you're listening. Simple point system, you get 45 points for your team. Every rank has a point allocated to it. So a challenger has like 18, 19 points. So if you want to have a challenger player on your team, it's going to cost you half of your points. And that's the big thing. So you're not going to see full teams of master tiers. You're not going to see any hectic high elo players. You have to have a good balance. And that's what we've really tried to make it, that it's accessible for all levels of players, and they get that esports experience, and they get a chance to be on their favorite streamer's stream. So we're really excited that we're able to do something a little bit simpler like that, and we can do a little bit of work. So you can expect some quite fun stuff. I'm not sure what's being...
We're going to get goofy.
We're getting goofy.
Getting real goofy with it. The other thing is Warwick clears the jungle pretty damn fast.
Yeah. Do you think... Okay, well, Warwick Rammus, who do you think?
I really like the Warwick here. Warwick is my champion that I play sometimes when I just want to gain LP and I don't care how. Because he's broken in low elo. You're a gank machine who farms way too fast.
I need envy type for me. Okay, well, how about this, Weapon? How about this? We're at that point. It's first game. We're still warming up. Let's jump to an intermission. We'll take a quick break, and then we're going to come back with the game. So, guys, stick around. We're going to be not even a minute. Not even that. We're going to be ready to be back. So, guys, thank you so much. Weapon, you're beautiful. I love you. Weapon, best shoutcaster.
Oh.
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are in game number 1. It is Goku versus Birdie. We have got the highlight of the first ever weapon, Oceanic Stream Slam tournament. Mate, if I can get this to be maybe 30-40% smoother on the next one, guaranteed it's going to be a hit. Can I get some O-School Rising chat?
We're already doing it. We're stacking up as well on the bot side. I think we're pushing up, just trying to scout out. Are they actually looking for an invade here? Into a... I guess you have a Warwick, but like Warwick's kind of not really a champion at level 1. Oh, they're looking at cheese. Okay, that's fine. Like carry on.
We talked about that vintage for T1, right? Like that makes sense.
Yeah, you're a real quiet guy.
Am I quiet now?
No, you're good, man.
Yeah, no, I was mad peeking just then. For I don't know why. Right. So I apologize if that was too loud. But guys, we're in. We're ready. I'm here. Papa's got the moves. Weapon's got the grooves. And the game is kicking off. Don't worry about me, man. I've had so much caffeine just to keep me going today. But okay, let's look at these lanes. Let's break them down a little bit. Like, who are you expecting to take home? Let's start at the top and work our way down.
Yeah, so the top lane, it's a bit of an even one. Like the set will be able to get some decent advantages in the early game, but it's a Jax that will just become Jax favored eventually as the game goes on, unless the set really blows it open. And that's where we start to talk about junglers, as we often do in competitive 5v5 League of Legends, because the Rammus, I think, has the lion's share of the work here on the red side to get it done. If he's full clearing, he's just not going to be able to keep pace with the Warwick, who you can see he's already on his second camp. He's completing it now, running up to his top side. So I expect we're going to see the Rammus, and the path kind of betrays this, looking up towards that top side, trying to get some advantages for that Jax. Maybe trade flashes, use your counter-strike to set something up for Jax in the top side. And then you've got a winning top side. You've got a Katarina who can play through in the mid lane. But like I said, he just cannot afford to slow down and just power farm this game out. Now, power balling up to the top, looks like he's looking for the angle.
Look, letting Strife move up a little bit there is definitely the play, but at the same time, Doja Cat trying to get that poke off. Here we go, looking for that nice little hit. The counter-strike is there. The nice little face pull. The taunt does come down. You do have the Haymaker. Does land on both, but just not enough damage at level 1.
Yeah, not quite enough, and not even a flash burn, so I think that feels like a bit of an unfortunate one for the Rammus, who probably wanted to get a little bit more, at least a flash, generate some pressure for the Jax on the top side. Now, Warwick is powering up. Oh, that's a
big engage. They get first blood. The CC chain. What was that?
That was nasty. This squishy Milio in the support role just caught out. Smidge just jumps on him. They throw down the traps and they just blow him up 100-0 before he can even level up to 3. So not even having the full kit available, he just gets murked. And that's going to reverse the fortunes, because we didn't really get a chance to touch on it. But that bot side, Milio should be ruling the roost, but gank from the Rammus.
Nice little flash, trying to get the taunt off, but you see Smidge, Ku has that. Double flash is burnt. You can look to be very aggressive here. Doja Cat going to turn this fight around. The traps are there. Good little dodge out there, but Smidge may have cut off just a little bit too much. Milio joining the party. Echo took my bike. I don't know.
Can we say that?
Did he? Well, if he stole the bike, I don't know. Like it's the same as like if Set stole my bike, right?
I
guess. I'm going to treat it the same. We treat it the same because we're impartial.
Sure.
We're impartial.
Yeah.
You're looking at it the wrong way.
I am probably looking at it the way it's intended to be looked at, and I'm not sure that's cool. But we'll move on from that one. Gank in the bot side does draw out both flashes, and that is going to correct a little bit of the fortunes of this bot lane after the unfortunate death by the Milio, because it's that Leona into that range support. And you can see right there, the harass with the Aerie is going to be pretty brutal. But right now, it's just full wave control afforded to the Caitlyn, just off that extra range. And Smidge is just stepping up, making it so dangerous for Sparkles to even look for any of these last hits. So it's just really well navigated by the bot side of the on the blue side. Which team are we looking at here, by the way? Which team's on which side?
Okay, so we got KC Goku on red side. Birdie on blue side. So what I was actually going to say is this bot lane, the Caitlyn Leona is actually a double Masters bot lane.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. You can tell by the way they're playing it, and there's the engage.
Good traps do go down. Good flash comes out. Milio able to get out of that one, and Sparkle's doing a good job just getting some poke back. You got to respect that. Into two masters, they're actually holding their own. Farm is still a little bit behind, but nothing to sort of be wavering about.
Yeah, but that's what you're going to see when it comes down to these matchups between low and high elo players. Unless the high elo player is playing something like this assassin that can just blow you out of lane, it's always going to be that death by 1,000 cuts. You know, you get to that point where I think anyone in the chat who's ever played in a tournament where you do have mismatched teams, you feel like you're holding your own, then you check your CS and you're like 30 CS behind, and you just don't know how it's happened.
Yeah.
And to credit to the Jinx in this matchup, he is only a few CS behind, and there's no real way to equalize that. So he has just more or less neutralized it, but like that is what it feels like, and that pressure is going to mount as Leona gets items and as the damage starts to come in from the Caitlyn, who has been able to get her first base, pick up her Noon Quiver, and is out to the wave first. So bit of extra control, decide whether they want to freeze or push, and it probably is just going to be send that wave under tower, because I don't think the Jinx is going to be there on time. Oh, maybe a freeze actually.
Look at their best. Look, it's a good spot to freeze it. If you can freeze at this sort of level, it's the best way to go.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot more waves, minions sitting there than were first visible on the minimap. But yeah, that's just going to be a nasty freeze, and you can step up with Emilio and try and get that wave under tower and have it bounce back, but you're going to sacrifice a lot, and you're going to put yourself in the guillotine for the Leona to just jump on you and cut you down alongside the Caitlyn.
That's it, and you can see Trollop getting some good poke. The dash for the electrocute proc is there. Oh, missed the face breaker in top lane. Actually, they got the ulti, but Echo is going to get jumped on, trying to get that heat off, but the damage is just too much. And did we see a trade up in topside too? Strife taken off the board, plays across the map.
Yeah, it plays across the map, but it feels like the big winner here is still that bot side. Caitlyn, Leona, your 80 carry being this far ahead at this stage of the game, and now sending another wave under tower, which Jinx is going to be able to answer, but Trollop getting ganked.
Yeah, it's a good spot as the ulti does go off, and Trollop just taken so low. And Lunge? Lunge?
Yeah.
What are we calling that?
Luinge, I think.
Luinge.
That sounds like a disease.
Luigi.
Come down with some Luinge.
Playing EDM. He's playing an EDM build right now in TFT, and he's chilling.
I haven't played the new TFT set.
It's really rough.
I haven't played any TFT set since like the first one, if I'm perfectly honest.
It's really rough, honestly, man. It's the latest one. It's like, I don't know what's going on. I barely get into it. I'm just like, oh, I'll build this today. And then I build it, and then somehow someone's gets the same thing and then just destroys me. It's terrible. It's horrible.
Yeah. Dude, so like that's the thing about TFT is we have a gank coming down towards the bot side, so maybe not a chance to talk about it. Just a Smidge looking.
Smidge wants to walk up, getting very aggressive. Traps do go down a little bit early. Good flash comes out. Sparkles does get that, but ulti's being burnt for Emilio. Would you call that a worth? Maybe at this stage of the game?
Yeah, no, definitely not. And as soon as the Warwick has level 6, he just comes down bot, pairs up with the Leona. You've got this massively fed Caitlyn at the stage of the game. The advantages are stacking up in that bot side. So back to TFT.
Back to TFT, and you can see they are looking for a bit of a scrap. Heartsteel versus EDM is the way to go, and Sparkles walks straight onto a trap. Headshots left, right, and center. There is a big chunk of damage. And again, Lunge flashing forward, but Caitlyn just destroying this lane.
Just huge. Let's see that gold difference. It's just over 1,000 in favor of the Caitlyn. So absolutely massive. Unfortunately, we're going to see a disconnect. Find out what's going on there. I'm seeing a pause.
Not seeing a pause. Who disconnected?
Pause. It was Llama, who we were told had to fix their internet before they went into the game.
Oh, there it is.
Now, unfortunately, they're not going to be on hand for the dragon to be taken, and that's what bot side pressure just gets you in League of Legends. Is you just get first access to all the objectives, and it doesn't matter.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh, no?
Isn't the show? That's the showstopper, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the one. He just wanted access to the wave, I think, which feels like the correct move.
Yeah, no, for sure. Just being able to sort of keep it from getting it shoved in is so crucial. Ooh, Doja Cat's starting to do some damage. If you actually look, items on the board, that's a Giant's Belt and a Kindle Gem.
Is this going to be Tank Katarina?
If it is,
I think it has to.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. I don't know how good Tank Katarina is these days. I don't keep up with the Katarina builds. There's too many going around.
It's the same with Kai'Sa.
Sometimes I tune into a Curzio stream, and he's building some wacky shit.
But this is what we said as well, Weapon. We said we told these players, play something crazy. We want to see something absolutely ridiculous. It doesn't need to make sense. It needs to be entertaining. These are not try-hard games. If you're try-harding in this, really reconsider what's going on in your League of Legends experience. That's really what it's about. These are for fun.
And like, speaking of not try-harding, I actually want to talk about this TFT thing. Because here's my feelings and thoughts on TFT, right?
All right.
I understand the base idea of TFT is you get all the guys with the same words and you put them together and they get stronger.
That's what I thought.
And I know that there's like esports for it, right? So there's skill. There's skill expression. Maybe a gank in the top lane going to cut me off here. But like, the step beyond get all the boys.
Oh, Razor actually a little bit premature. The counter-strike does hit too. Ulti is popped. Jack's able to stay in there, jumping straight in. Going straight onto Razor. Strife running for his life. So much from Llama. The disconnect was literally just to keep them going. But here comes Doja Cat. Big spin of the daggers. And that's a double up in this top lane. Trollop is here. So is Smidge. Looking for that. Gets the nice little frost. But oh, look at the damage from Tippers. What is going on? The burn. The play. Huge. But there's a rocket from downtown. The flash stun is there. Just coming in, getting the counter strike off, but the double tilt does go over to Trollop. Trollop wanting to stay alive, but trying to get those stuns off. Just this CC, the triple kill going over to Trollop.
And Trollop picks up the triple kill, and it's just all about that bot div. And even the Caitlyn picks up a kill, and it just comes off of this bot lane domination that's been set up by Gimmicks and Smidge as they're sending waves onto the tower. They've got multiple kills in that bot side, and that means that the Milio, who we don't expect to roam, but he's just been so pinioned under his tower as a trade of flashes. That was goofy, but I respect the attempt. But it means that Smidge has been unlocked to get on the map first. The Milio's been kind of relegated to sitting in the bot lane, and that just means the impact has been felt, and that has led to a triple kill for this top side, which has kind of been suffering for the most part for Birdie's squads. So fortune's reversed, and like I said, it's all about this bot lane in League of Legends in 2023.
Classic League of Legends metas, am I right? We started off with a tank meta, now it's all AD carries doing damage. Who would have thought that their name actually is their role? Craziness.
Incredible. They get to do damage. Maybe a dead Caitlyn
but this is a big one. Electric Gimmicks could be caught out. The Taunt is there. Mega Death Rocket. The shutdown is huge.
Shutdown does go over to the Jinx, and that's going to buy a little bit of time and space, and that's going to get a little bit of extra gold into the pocket of the Jinx, get her closer towards that Kraken Slayer. But it still feels like you've got a big mountain to climb here to try and even get close to shutting down this Caitlyn and getting yourself onto parity. And now I think it's going to be a question of how can the blue side start to open up the map. You've got Warwick, has that Rift Herald, so he's down towards that bot side. Expect to see that drop very, very soon. So you can see he's just looking for his opportunity, and that's just a dead tower.
And Trollop's coming up.
And then you start rolling that Siege Engine. But
Stun is there. Oh, good flash. Actually, Counter-Strike does get put just in time. Pulled back in. There's a big chunk of damage. The Haymaker, the Showstopper. The jump out is too much. The flash under tower. No way does Ledge get out of there. You still have a stun. Wards go down. How did he survive?
But there's a roam coming in from the Katarina. See what she's got here. Doja Cat. I get it, Doja Cat. That's really clever.
Yeah, like the Heartsteel. Makes a lot of sense. Sitting in these fights for a lot longer, and looks like Echo could be caught out one more time. Huge ulti, but it's just mistimed. And you have to walk away. There goes the Rift Herald too.
There's the ult.
Ace in the hole lands, and it's going to be a first tower over to Birdie.
It's done. It's a really good play up towards the top side by Luich to survive, but unfortunately, just not enough because this bot lane is out of control for the blue side. Llama, I don't even think he can do anything. And yes, you're in a situation where you've got this huge Rammus who could get tanky against so many AD threats. But if you're so accelerated at this stage of the game, it's just not going to be enough. And
they're trying to make a play happen, though. Sparkle's trying to do a little bit, but look at the Heartsteel. One more order should do it. Sparkle's getting that one. Stun goes down. Smidge could be caught out. Double kill going over to Sparkles. They're lighting up the light as Gimmicks could be caught out as well. It's a triple kill. They're turning him out as Trollop is there. You need to get into this fight, Echo. You want to take it, but what was that kill? Trollop landing a big Rammus, and okay.
That was such a weird fight. You had pressure on the tower, and you had your Caitlyn hitting it. And then they just YOLO throw everything at the Rammus, just as I was talking about how it's not going to matter as this game goes on that he is tanky. I get proven instantly wrong, and that takes him so long to start doing any damage to him. By the time the cavalry comes in, they're able to clean up the fight, and this game gets once again slightly swung back in the favor of the red side. But still that huge advantage for the blue side, and towers are falling down, space is being opened up on the map for them.
Towers going down in mid lane. It's pretty big that Annie's able to do that, but you got Lunge up here as well. Fairly strong, a solid 20 CS up on Strife on this set. Got that Divine Sundra, but they're looking for Llama, and they're hunting for that freaky wall, but no, they are going to get jumped on as well. Trollop going to get caught out. Nice spinning, but you do have a Heartsteel, so Trollop is going to get auto out. There is Razor. I'm still trying to eat my pizza right now, and Sparkles does try to get out of this one, trying to throw out that little zap cannon, but no, they do disengage.
Yeah, and really nicely played by Trollop as well. Had the stun primed for the Katarina rather. As soon as she came in, tried to pop the ultimate. You just lock it down with that CC. Big flash play.
Getting the counter strike off there, but look how low Lunge is.
What's your pizza topping, by the way?
I got double bacon cheeseburger, chat.
Oh, a classic.
It's a classic.
Is that from brand with the board game on it?
Dominoes.
Yeah.
I'm loving it.
That's the one.
See, if we hit them with 2 brands, they'll never know.
They'll never know. We're not sponsored.
Oh.
Or are we sponsored by everything?
Yep.
But this feels like a 1v9 game for Luinge in the top, and you couldn't think of a better player for it to happen to, because we're both struggling with that name. Lunge? But it feels like a game where he just we could go with Lunge, I guess.
Let's go with Lunge.
Luinge. Luinge is actually pretty funny.
Luinge.
Yeah.
I like it. Oh, the flash forward though. Getting the little tibbers off. Trying to get that second dash off. Oh, look at the damage coming off, but it's just not enough because you're a Heartsteel Katarina, and Doja Cat just gets out.
Does get out. That damage is going to stack up as the game goes on. Heartsteel stacks are going to come in, and everything on Katarina's kit is able to proc Heartsteel, and it gets real goofy real fast, but it isn't quite enough damage at this stage, and it feels like he's probably just playing for the Heartsteel procs. And right now, I think on the red side, you're just playing for time. Divine Sunder has been completed on Luinge, but unfortunately, he finds himself in that mismatched matchup, so he's just going to be relegated to catching what farm he can, probably giving up that tower in due course. Yeah. So it's really, I think, all going to be all about that 3-item breakpoint on basically your entire lineup on the red side. Jinx wants more items as the game goes on. You know, Jax has that Divine Sundra, Shojin, Zhonya's combination that makes him so effective in team fights and side lanes. Charlotte's caught a Katarina.
Well, no, but you can catch a cat, but you can't keep it in a box. And you can see Luinge's actually gone straight onto Trollop here, able to get out of there using that movement speed. That's the burp, but looking straight back in. Good smacks come off. Mega Death Rocket lands, but it's just not on the right person. The Ignite is ticking. Nice little shutdown. Heading over. Fekos, they're going for a little bit more of a fight. They've got the damage. They've got the players here. Smidge could be caught out. Throwing down the ultimate. The sun does drop, but it's not enough as Luinge picks up another kill.
And that was just a disjointed fight. What was that? A 3v4 where they just didn't quite have the key members there. I think not having the Warwick and not having the set in position meant they couldn't do anything, but now they're just going to turn their attention straight towards this Rift Herald. Probably going to be a drop for the top or mid, and that gets you more gold, gets you towards those item breakpoints. And as I say that this game feels like it's been heavily in the favor of the blue side, like the gold lead is nothing to speak about, and it actually does mean that they probably will be able to hold on in this game and get to those item points that they need. Have the Jax take over, have Jinx be the more effective range carry, and have this Heartsteel Katarina have 999 stacks and just be one-shotting people as a full tank Katarina.
I think you also got to look at, sorry, I've got pizza in my mouth. You got to look at Warwick. Warwick is rushed to the Thornmail in fear of Jinx, Katarina, and Jax. What do you think of that?
I hate it. I don't know I don't know what that is.
I thought I'd bring it up because that's very unique.
Radiant Virtue Warwick? I guess.
We've seen it
I could see it happening, but...
Does Strife take on Doja Cat here?
I think he just takes his trade and walks away. He's got a divine... Strife doesn't even have an item, actually, so he does not win any trades here. I'm still baffled by this Warwick build. Because the normal build you go for these days is... If you want to do the goofy solo queue thing, it's a Blade of the Ruin King.
Yep.
I still really like the get the Tiamat into the Divine Sundra, then go semi-tank. I think that's just a really good build if you're in like a lower ranked competitive game.
Oh, good dive coming in. Still got eating pizza. Dash is coming out though. Doja Cat able to survive that. Ignite ticking and used.
Yeah, Ignite used. It's going to be a cooldown down. They're looking for more.
Doja. Oh, good dash. Fantastic dash, actually.
Really nicely done. This Katarina is so slippery, but now you've got an entire squad bearing down your bot lane tower. You've got Trell matching the Jax at top side, and you're going to trade maybe a mid tier 1 for it, but that's a tier 2, maybe a tier 3 to follow. The blue team just looking so much more coordinated here as they just lay siege to the enemy base and just take whatever they want.
Look, they lost one, but here comes Lunge. They're going for the big ultis dashing in. Counter-Strike is there, but it's going to be enough to take out Smidge. That's the one person you just really can't afford to go on. And look at Llama sitting here. They're just trying to fight, but they are caught inside their own base, and they're now trying to walk it out. Llama taking out 2. Good Counter-Strike. Flash is there. Smidge is looking so low. They get the double. Can they go for even more? The taunt was there too. And it's a beautiful play. Llama's picking up kills, and you've lost all of that momentum.
Yeah, everything just gets shut down. You do have Trell up in the top side, pushing that top lane tier 2, so it's going to be a little bit of extra gold, but you're gonna walk away with some kills given over to the red side and a dragon handed over. So your roll towards soul point is going to be stopped, and I think it's probably most important that Gimmicks does not go down here, but he has to be careful.
Gotta be.
He's on a ward.
Ooh. It's going to be a little bit nervous. They lost, what, 3 towers just then? Annie in the top lane taking 1, 2 in the bot side as well, but they didn't get inhib. It's 21 minutes. Probably a good call that they didn't get inhib.
Yeah, definitely, but a massive play by Luigi keeps them in this one, goes forward with it was a flash forward with the Counter-Strike, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it just catches everyone, sets up the damage from the Jinx, and the Katarina goes in afterwards. And now the Jinx is sitting on that Infinity Edge, so the item's starting to stack up. She's basically ready to go. Like, Jinx is one of those champions as an AD carry who actually is able to just come online. And, dude,
Yep.
What is this Warwick build?
Don't worry about it. We don't have to worry about the Warwick.
We don't?
We don't have to worry about
it. Cheers.
Just have fun with it.
I won't worry about it. We're having fun with it.
We got a Hullbreaker. Hullbreaker on Lunge is good, though.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is probably a game where the Jax needs to build a Hullbreaker. Doja Cat's in.
Doja Cat wants in this fight, but good jump in from Llama coming in with a big chunk of damage. Doja Cat does get out with their life, trying to stay alive a little bit more, but look, their big meta death rocket. Sparkles, you son of a gun. And look, Razor's going for it. Smidge is so close to die, but no, look what just happened. They cleaned up the fight regardless. A huge shutdown.
And this time it's Smidge who pulls the trigger, finds the Jinx, cuts down most of the damage at the start of the game, and they manage to get all the key kills, and then there's just not enough damage coming in from Doja Cat on this full tank Katarina to make the rest of the fight work. So they clean up the fight on the blue side, go straight to the Baron, set it up. Luigi is going to try and pick up this bot lane tower. I don't think it's going to be quite enough.
Ooh.
A dive!
Okay, like, the Rift Herald's still going. You get another tower for that. They might trade Baron, but they lose a tier 2.
Yeah, this is just a tale of two sides of the map. It's a Jax 1v9 with a bot lane that's just gotten out of control and hasn't really taken its foot off the gas at any stage of the game, despite a couple of really awkward fights. It's just been domination, mostly from Smidge, just finding the angles, setting up the fights whenever he can, if they're not just getting proactively jumped on by Luigi when he's there. And now Luigi has the Hullbreaker as well, so that signifies that he does just want to live in a side lane, which means that if he's not finding the angles to proactively group with his team after pushing a couple of waves and creating some pressure, there are more and more chances for Smidge to find the backline and set up those big fights and have Trell come in with those huge stuns like we've been seeing. So it really has to be a lot on the shoulders of Luigi to be in position, use his teleports effectively, and just make sure that he can support his team, because he's like all of the gold on the red side. Like, I can't stress this enough. He has 10,500 gold. I think he is the second richest person on the map right now. Yeah, and look, it's even more of a fight as Strife is there. Luigi wants to come in, gets the Counter-Strike. Good flash comes out from Strife. That's a big show. No showstopper. It's actually what is it? Haymaker.
But yeah, Haymaker, that's the one. And Strife is just going to be hit up as now Razor's in the chopping block. You have to worry about Doja Cat. We actually saw another tower being taken mid as we're watching this big fight just go through. Huge shutdown going on of Luigi, but there's more gold on your top laner when your base is being sieged in the mid lane.
Yeah, and we've seen this movie before. It's the Jacks picking up a lot in the side lanes, but meanwhile, the 3-person unit is pushing in mid. They're going to trade a tier 2, but that's split between 2 people. So not quite the value you'd want to see, but at least gets you some more gold onto the Jacks, onto the Katarina. So you are getting there, but it feels like every single play that's being made, because it's just all on this Jacks, there's just a bigger counterpunch coming in with more members on the other side from the blue squad.
Yeah, no, it's so true. But I think Dragon Soul is already available. 3 dragons down. It's a Mountain Soul. We haven't actually touched on that either. Let's talk about who's going to be most beneficial with that weapon.
I mean, it just has to go towards. It really is actually both sides. I think that are fine with the Jacks and the Rammus front line on one side, but I do think with triple front line on the blue side with Strife, Razor, and Smidge, the ability to jump in and set the fights without worrying too much about the return damage definitely feels like it would be more favorable to you. But you've got at least one of those Mountain Souls on the red side, so a little bit of those defensive stats are going to help when you do decide to pull the trigger and look for that counter punch. Big collapse here on Llama. Smidge is looking.
Smidge wants to be there, just straight into that. That's not a good spot to be in, actually. Does get
no.
slowed up. Zap is there. Counter-Strike does go down to the drop the sun, but it's not going to... Look at the damage from that Tibbers. What the fuck was that? And Sparkles is taken out too as Smidge is turning onto the back line. They're just ramming them down. Smidge did all this work so much. There's the ace in the hole. It hits Echo, but not enough. Look at Warwick. Look at that doggo go. And it lands in good... Oh, the flash though. But what's going on? And it's an ace heading over for Birdie's team.
That's an ace. That's Baron. That's Birdie's team picking up the first game of the series, and it's all off the back of the bot lane. Warwick was there to assist when he needed to be, but the rest of the map just had to hold on. Unfortunately, Luigi just wasn't able to do enough. I'm going with Luigi. I think that's the funniest pronunciation. Sorry to the dude if he has any other ideas about how his name is pronounced, or theirs, or hers.
Yeah, look, I like it. Regardless, Luigi, awesome show, but this Birdie roster just was so big as they are going in for another fight. Counter-Strike straight onto his trap. It's just not there as they take home the Nexus. Game 1 of the Stream Slam goes over to Birdie.
Really well played. A lot of back and forth actually from both teams can walk away feeling pretty good. They had multiple moments to shine. And so what happens